Hi, my name is John Romita Jr., and I'm a cartoonist for Marvel Comics, and I presently draw Captain America, the monthly series. Cap goes through these trials and tribulations over a period of time. Within the story, many years pass, so you can go by that his costume, it gets worn and torn, and he gets beat up, and he gets grizzled, and not necessarily ages as much as the elements take their toll on him. His hair gets longer, then it gets cut because he can cut it himself. So he's out in the middle of nowhere. So the costume can suffer. His skin, his features, he can suffer. There's even my consideration that he should lose weight at some point, but he is a super soldier, so he shouldn't do that. But basically, it's the result. Instead of taking a proactive view of this, it's a reactive view, because if Cap is out in the middle of the elements forever, for 10 years, so to speak, 20 years, however long we decide, you basically have to show wear and tear on him. So that's what dictates the way he's going to look.
Almost. Oh, hello there. Welcome to another scintillating edition of The Lowdown. Now, Cyclops came to me to try and help fix his visor with his recent power change. Often, Cyclops would go to an actual genius, like Dr. Nemesis, who is the subject of this Lowdown. Dr. Nemesis is really, really old. He was born around the turn of the century, of the 20th century. He's had a very checkered life. He's been a villain, he's been a hero, but he's always been a genius. He is the world's foremost biologist. Now, Reed Richards or Hank McCoy might disagree, but he will tell you he is the world's foremost biologist, and that is why Cable is wise in picking Dr. Nemesis as part of his X-Force. If you want to see where Dr. Nemesis goes next, keep reading X-Force, everybody. Back to my fixing job here. Oh!
Here's what you need to do. Iron Man reference for the Paulo Rivera cover. Get the lettering for Spider-Man number 6 to Dan Slott and read it and give me your notes. I need a cover update on all the covers for the month of June.
Hey, Ellie.
Hey, Manny.
Got a bunch of covers for you.
Excellent.
For this Nova one, I think the logo works a little bit better dropping it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Instead of covering up Nova's helmet there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the right place for it, and I like how you put it behind the art.
Yeah.
There. It's very cool.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get these run. Thank you very much.
Cool, thanks.
But you just sent me an email about the fact that you switched the order of some pages in issue 6 of Superior Spider-Man, right?
Yes, I've moved page 5 to page 7, so now 6 is the new 5, 7 is the new 6, and 5 is the new 7. But all the art files will be labeled 5, 6, and 7, but they should run 6, 7, 5.
And
I don't see that causing any problem.
this arc was, I mean, one of the core ideas was, this is Tony, he's having a good time at the start. He goes to this wonderful alien civilization, and they're incredibly entertaining. They're very decadent. Everyone's really just lying back and having a good time. We go to these gladiatorial combats, and then we destroy them. And it's a really, really harsh wake-up for Tony, and it's the end of the line for the Voldy. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. It's a sudden, I wouldn't say it's a tonal shift, but I hope it kind of works, because there's a fundamental sadness to the Voldy, as in they thought the world works in one way, and the world suddenly caught up with them. And this really is one of the things that drives the book from now on. And of course now we know what 451 is really like.
We're sorry to interrupt your regular scheduled programming, but we have received a breaking news story. At 2:43 p.m. Eastern today, a flash of radiant white light blazed in the sky over the western hemisphere of the Earth. Unconfirmed reports indicate that the light may have been visible worldwide. The flash did not seem to affect global communication, but has left the world stunned. Scientists have begun referring to the light blaze as the white event, and some theorize that it may have occurred when the Earth contacted abnormal properties in orbit. And in fact, an alien aurora. This just in, we have received a report of an apparent epicenter to the event, where an unidentified symbol has been burned into the center of an enormous crater. The crater appears to be near or on a university campus. Eyewitness accounts are inconclusive at the moment, but there appear to be a number of casualties at the site. The Avengers are currently en route to the scene. Stay tuned in for more updates as further information is confirmed.
This is Dustin Weaver, here to talk about working on the Avengers. I'm the artist for Avengers issues 7, 8, and 9, and I'm the regular cover artist on the series. When Tom Brevoort emailed me asking if I wanted to be part of the Avengers team, it was like Nick Fury had emailed me. You could have lifted the text and made it dialogue for Samuel Jackson to say it at the end of one of those movies. And when he told me who would be on the team, Jerome Opeña, Dean White, Adam Kubert, and Mike Deodato, he might as well have said Thor, Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man. And here I am, Hawkeye. I mean, those guys are big names in superhero comics. It's a bit intimidating. Getting to work on the Avengers has been unexpected. It was never an ambition of mine. I've always been more of an X-Men guy, but I'm finding it to be a lot of fun. Each of these characters is so iconic. There's a lot of satisfaction in drawing them. And a certain amount of intimidation. I think that's the second time I'm using the word intimidation. I am afraid of a lot of things.
Don't worry! We're coming! Bring the ladders! Oh, hello there. I'm Senior Editor Nick Lowe, and this is another edition of The Lowdown. You might be asking, what is he doing wearing a fireman's helmet? Well, today at Marvel, we are playing firemen. By we, I mean me. And why? I don't really have a good answer. I like firemen. They're heroes. You know who else are heroes? The X-Men. They are way better than who you are seeing on this page, the Avengers. Ugh. The X-Men are way better than the Avengers. I think we all know that, except for maybe a certain Tom Brevoort, senior editor of the Avengers. Whew, that guy smells like fish. Don't know why, but he does. Anyway, I don't really have anything of good merit to tell you about them because I try to ignore them as much as possible because the X-Men are so much better. But, they say they're Earth's mightiest heroes, but I object to that. That's it. This is one of the least informational lowdowns that you'll ever have. I better get back to saving fake people's lives. I'm coming!
Hey, this is David Marquez. While I draw most of my pages digitally, from time to time I do still like to get my hands dirty and ink a page by hand. I'll still use some digital tools to create a 3D model for the background, and I'll sketch out all the characters in Photoshop. I'll then tighten all that up, and anything I'll ink by hand, I'll actually convert to blue lines, which won't reproduce whenever I scan in the finished piece. I'll then print it out on a comic board and go to town inking, making a lot of the final art decisions as I go. I'll then scan in the finished piece and send it into Marvel.
Here we go. It's time for the next AR ambush. The phone is ringing at Chris Pacello's house. Suspense is building.
Hello?
Hello, Chris Pacello. You have been AR ambushed.
You've been ambushed!
How did you find me?
Yeah,
I've been hiding.
we tracked you down and we ambushed you. How does it feel to be drawing Uncanny X-Men?
It feels absolutely great. It's a privilege. It's a thrill. It's beyond belief. It's astronomical.
Now this is not
uncanny. It's uncanny.
It certainly is uncanny. Now this is not your first.
It is.
This is not.
It's a real pleasure to be working on the book and working with fabulous editors like Nick and Jordan, and working with an amazing writer like Brian Michael Bendis.
Now, yeah. So
having a lot of fun.
So this is not your first time on Uncanny X-Men. What makes this time different?
We're starting with issue number 1. I don't have a big number to fill on the corner of my pages.
That's true. Page number writing down time is.
It takes up a lot of time to write in 365.
All right. So one of the aspects of AR Ambush is that we do a little like word association. So we're gonna name a character.
Oh no!
And you have to say.
Do I keep my mind out of the gutter?
No, we can censor. We can beep out if it goes there. But this is going to be very revealing. I'm sure it will be. Okay, go for it. Here we go. Magic.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, all right. Emma Frost.
White.
Cyclops.
Leader.
All right. Let's see. Tempest. Who's the blue-haired girl?
Blue.
There we go. Word association.
Ambush.
I can't tell you how pleased we are to have you visit the new Charles Xavier School for Mutants. Despite appearances to the contrary, visitors are always welcome during our open house hours, which, as you know, are posted on the community bulletin board in the ruins of Genosha. Right now you're standing in a tunnel under 131 feet of solid granite. Hope none of you are too claustrophobic. Ahead is our hangar where we house our state-of-the-art... Oh, no pictures. I'm sure you understand. Well, our elevator also operates using a maglev system. It's whisper quiet, silky smooth, and goes up and down at speeds of over 90 miles an hour. Oops, if you're feeling nauseated, please wait a moment until we enter our grand meeting room. There's a garbage can to your left. Admire the 36-foot cathedral ceiling, but I wouldn't touch anything. Actually, try not to be too heavy while you're standing here. I'm not 100% sure what activates the danger room mechanisms. If you start to hear any mechanical humming, we can... Well, let's hope we don't hear any humming. Across the room we have the students' dorms. The kids have a totally awesome lounge at the end of the hall with Wi-Fi and a microwave for popcorn. If you turn around, you'll see the entrance to our classrooms. Our teaching spaces are designed to be used with the Montessori Summers method. We like to encourage discovery-based learning punctuated with an intense combat training. I'd love for you to see our holographic blackboards for yourselves, but that part of the school is currently off limits to visitors. On the lower levels, we have the cafeteria, which is also off limits, a service area, which I'm afraid is too hazardous for visitors, and then there's, not a thing. Nothing else down there. Certainly nothing you'd like to see. Some piles of rocks and dirt, I think. Back to the elevator. Well, that concludes our tour. Please let me know if you'd like restaurant recommendations for lunch. There's a little place with some excellent smoked salmon about an hour away.